I want to tell you the story of one of my students, Catherine. When she was a child, she loved the video of the helicopter flying in Rio de Janeiro around the huge figure of Christ. It's a famous video. It's very beautiful, and yes, it's such a panoramic view. Can you imagine a person who dreams of flying to Rio de Janeiro from Russia and seeing the figure of Christ from this very perspective? But how can that be done? A simple family doesn't have that much money to go to Rio de Janeiro. I will tell you what happened next. Today, I want to share with you shamanic knowledge about spirits and about money. Are you interested? Good. We all live in a world where we believe it is impossible to live without money. Even to connect to the internet and to watch this video on YouTube, you need to pay for the internet, correct? Let us talk about what money is. First of all, money are those very pieces of paper, those very coins that we have in daily use. We receive them, we give them away. Now think how a shaman sees all of this. Think of how many different hands touched the money. What kind of people were they? It is quite possible that each note was touched by the hands of 1,000,000 or even 10 million people. What kind of hands? What was in that person? Someone at the moment he was holding that money was concerned about fears that he had nothing, that he had lost everything. Someone may have even been paying for cancer medication with this money. He thought it was his last hope. Maybe it really was his last unfulfilled hope. Can you imagine how many different spirits accumulate in money, in the currency notes and coins themselves? Do you think these spirits are positive, joyful, and harmonious? Or are they spirits of bad spell, evil eye, envy, or hatred? I think you all understand this very well. After all, it is common to say that money is dirt. Very often we are told, you have touched money. Go and wash your hands. Many times after touching money, we even physically feel that something remains on our hands. Indeed, the different negative feelings that people have when they touch money are very often left on the currency notes, on the money itself. Now imagine for a moment what happens when we pile up money. When we have a little bit of money, a few currency notes, some spirits are there. Imagine when we pile up money, pile up, pile up, pile up. I don't think a shot is enough to show how much we are piling up. Indeed, it is not only money that is piling up in our savings. A huge amount of destructive spirits are accumulating. Some people still keep their money under their pillow, mattress, or in their room, just as in the old times. Can you imagine how many of these spirits would be present there? My beautiful student, Catherine, asked me a question. How can I get to Rio and fulfill my dream? My answer was very simple. Trust God. Learn to sacrifice. Learn to live in God, serve God, and do what God says. During a seminar where I was showing a very strong, magical amulet, I bluntly asked, do you want God to help you, to make your dreams come true? Look, this amulet will change your dream. My beautiful girl found this amulet and she completely and sincerely gave her offering, her money for this amulet. What do you think happened when she sincerely gave her money? The money changed into an offering. Its power changed. Its energy changed. At that moment, when this money was handed over, the shaman purified it, and the fate of my student was purified of malice, envy, sickness, everything that was on the money. Yes, that material money went to help the orphanage. But what happened to my beautiful student? Next, she went to Rio de Janeiro on a business project. As it was a business trip, she was terribly busy. She drove by car past the statue of Christ several times, but there was no time to stop, much less time to go up. Do you know what kind of a queue there is to see it? There's a very long queue. You have to wait for half a day in this queue to get up to the Christ statue. Her last day in Rio de Janeiro arrived, her day of departure. On that very day, a pipe was broken on the central highway and the highway was blocked. It was impossible to get to the airport. People were very late for their planes. What could be done? The firm she worked with started looking for ways to get her to the airport. Do you know what they found? A helicopter. A helicopter was flown to a nearby rooftop and she got in that helicopter. As the helicopter flew to the airport, it was enough for her to say, "I dream of flying close to the statue of Christ." When she said this, the helicopter made a slight turn and flew exactly from the angle that was filmed on the internet. It flew completely around this huge Christ figure in Rio de Janeiro. Of course, she made it onto the plane and back to Russia safely. When she arrived, she called me and said, "I still can't believe it. Me, an ordinary girl from Russia, in a helicopter around the figure of Christ in Rio de Janeiro. How is this possible?" It is possible. This is how. When we get rid of negative spirits, when our money is turned into a sacrifice, when we sincerely help God, help other people, when we sincerely accept the help of a shaman, such miracles happen. Think about it. God really wants us to have everything, but we are afraid to accept God's help. We want to do it ourselves. We pile up lots of money. There is such a stereotype that rich people are happy. You know what? It is a trick of the spirit of money. It is such a trap to make all poor people strive to become rich. Why? The fact is that a rich person has many problems, and the rich are crying too. There is a Mexican soap opera that shows this. Really? Did you know that scientists have tried to find the happiest people? Psychologists have done tests, statistics, and studies. Their research found some interesting results. The most emotionally happy people who laugh, who have an easy attitude to life, who are happy with their lives, who have no resentment, no sadness, no grief, are those who live in economically undeveloped countries. Can you imagine? People are happy because they do not have to worry about their bank account. They do not have to worry about thousands of purchases to be made and thousands of different bills to be paid. A person is just happy. Yes, the more money a person piles up, the more he also piles up negative spirits. I can very well hear your question. How is that? What can we do without money? In fact, I live without money. Many of my students live without money. I would like to tell you once again, if a man is sincere with the spirits, if he is sincere with the gods will give him everything. Look, a woman donated for the shaman's amulet and the spirits arranged it so that she got much more than she gave. We can be given houses. We can be given helicopters. All the dreams we want come true, but the God decides to do it in a different way. For some reason, we only want to buy it with money, have it pile up, to be able to pay and get it. God and the spirits are willing to give it to us in a different way. If we open up, if we free ourselves from extra spirits, if we know how to sacrifice, if we are open to God, then spirits will give us everything. Can you imagine? Easy, free, real, absolutely everything will be given. I'm glad you have listened to the story. I hope that your perspective on the world will now change. And of course, I look forward to seeing you at the wonderful shamanic workshops. The spirits are waiting for you.
You've acquired new knowledge, and it's time for you to become a ray of light for new people. Share this video with them. Invite them to become part of the field of love. Come with them to our classes. and seminars. Help people, and God will help you.